Welcome to Gautam classes student. So today our topic quantum numbers. That is really very important topic on the basis of our NEET exam as well as JEE main exam. So thing is that before studying the quantum numbers, we should know about for what reason we are studying that topic. So like suppose that you have any one friend A. You don't know where he is staying, but you want to search him. So for searching him, how many parameter needed? Firstly, you should know that what is his country. What if you want to search your friend? Firstly, you should know his country. Once you knew his country, then after that, second thing is coming at which state he is staying. Once you know the state, then after that you have to know the district. In which district he is staying. Once you know the district, then fourth point is coming. You have to know the street address. Street address. If these all four things you are knowing about any one person, easily you can identify it and you can reach at that place. So same thing in that about the electron in an atom. If we want to know everything about the electron in an atom, we should know about the four type of quantum numbers. What is that? Principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number. So one by one, we are going to study about all these type of quantum numbers. So first is coming our spin quantum number. Spin quantum number is given by the Bose, and in that what a spin quantum number is telling us, it determines average distance between the electron and the nucleus, means it denotes the size of the atom. So by the help of the principal quantum number, we are knowing about the what is the size of the atom. So like you know that Bohr radius was the formula Rn 0.529, that was the n square upon z. So you know that from here, by increasing the n value, where n is our principal quantum number, by increasing the n value, what is happening? Our Rn value is increasing. That means by the help of the principal quantum number, we are going to identify, actually here A will come, mistakenly this came principal A, principal quantum number. So by increasing the n value, what will happen? Our radius will increase. Next thing is coming, it determines the energy of the electron in an orbit where electron is present. Yes. Here also we are going to identify where electron is present, what is the energy of that particular orbit. So by the help of En is equal to minus 13.6 Z square upon N square, that is in electron volt per atom. So where what is the Z? Z is our atomic number and N is the principal quantum number. What is that? N is the principal quantum number. So beta, by increasing the n value, what is happening? By increasing the n value, our En value is also increasing. What is it? En value also increasing. That means one thing is clear, by going away from the nucleus, energy of the individual orbit is increasing. That means principal quantum number is also telling us about the what is the energy of the orbital where electron is present. Third thing is here, the maximum number of an electron in an orbit represented by this quantum number as 2n square. No energy cell in an atom known elements possess more than 32 electrons. Till that whatever number of cells is discovered, in that maximum number of electron is present 32. So those are the maximum number of electrons present in an orbit, that is filling according to the 2n square rule, where what is the n? N is our number of orbit. Number of orbit. Suppose that somebody is asking in a first cell, if we are writing n is equal to 1, how many maximum number of electron is present? So we can say that 2 1 square, so 2 electron is present. In a second cell, how many maximum number of electron is present? So 2 into 4, that means we can say that 8. So 8 electron is present in the second cell. Now thing is coming azimuthal quantum number. You know that what is the azimuthal quantum number? That is telling us about that what is the shape of the orbitals. What is it? It is telling us about what is the shape of the orbitals. So in that we are going to define the relation between azimuthal quantum number and principal quantum number. So azimuthal quantum number related with the principal quantum number by the 0 to n minus 1. For example, here I am taking the example of very simple n is equal to 2. So what about the L value? It will start from the 0, comma 1. That means these two azimuthal quantum number is present here. If we are knowing the L value, how we are going to identify the subcell? If L value is coming 0, so subcell will be S. L value is coming 1 with subcell P, 2 D subcell, 3 F subcell. So if N is equal to 2, how many subcell is present in that place? S and P is present. So we can represent it 2S and 2P like that. After that, they are asking number of orbitals in a subcell. So how we can identify? By the use of the 2L plus 1. If anywhere thing is given that L is equal to 1, in that how many orbitals is present? So directly we can use the formula 2L plus 1, that means 2 into 1 plus 1. So what will come here? 3 will come. So if I am giving the example of the p orbitals here, p subcell, for example, I am giving the example of the p subcell and asking how many orbitals is present in that. So you know that for the p orbitals, what about the L value? L value is 1. So by the use of formula, number of orbitals in a subcell 2L plus 1. So for that 1, so 2 into 1 plus 1. So how much is came? 3. So 3 orbitals is present in the p subcell. And how we are going to represent them? 1, 2. So first orbital px, then py, then pz. Like that we can represent for the identify for the other one also. Maximum number of electrons in a particular subcell. Sometime once in our NEET exam they ask which one is showing the correct formula for identifying the maximum number of electron in a subcell. So that is the 2L plus 1. Suppose that here if L is equal to 2 is given that, and they are asking in that how many maximum number of electron can fill. If azimuthal quantum number is 2, how many maximum number of electron can fill? So we can put here 2 plus 1. That means how much will come? 10 electron. So maximum 10 electron can fill in where azimuthal quantum number is 2. If azimuthal quantum number is 2, so which type of subcell? That is the D subcell. You know that in D subcell, how many orbitals? There are 5 orbitals is present. For finding the orbital angular momentum, we can use the formula L is equal to h upon 2 pi root L plus 1. So what type of question is coming here? In 1s subcell, what about the orbital angular momentum? What is the orbital angular momentum? So if s orbital is present, so for that L value we can say that 0. So by the use of formula h upon 2 pi root, what is it? 0 0 plus 1, that means ultimately what will come? 0 will come. What about for if anywhere is written that 3D? So beta for the 3D, what about the orbital angular momentum? So here L value we can write the 2, because for the D subcell, what is the L value is 2. So D is equal to h upon 2 pi, and here we can write 2, and here 2 plus 1. That means what is coming? H upon 2 pi, and here it will come root 6. So hope everybody got the idea what type of question is coming and how we are going to find that. Here s orbitals, p orbitals, d orbitals, they are asking which one is the correct diagram for that and what is the shape of these orbitals. So look, those are the s orbitals. Their shape is spherical, and how we can draw that? We can draw in such a way that that one is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. If we are going to draw that, we can say that that one is the z-axis. So look here, actually whatever is the distance from this to that and here to there, all that distance is similar. That means we can say that it is the symmetrical. So those are the s orbital. It is a non-directional in nature. What is a non-directional in nature? Non-directional in nature. For the p orbitals, that is the dumbbell shape. So in that p orbitals there are three. In that p orbitals, or we can say that p subcell, how many orbitals is present? Three orbitals is present. Those are the px, py. What is that? Px, py, pz. And its shape is like a dumbbell shape. How we can draw that? I'm going to draw the one by one all that. If that one is the x-axis, so firstly this was the px, this one is the py, and that one is the pz. So look, this one I am going to consider that x-axis, this one is the y-axis. So it is present, we can write like that. That is the px. If another one we are writing, that one is the x-axis, and this one is the y-axis. So for the py, we can write like that, this way. For the pz, if we are saying that that one is the z, x, y, and it is the z. So how we can draw? Like that. That is our pz. So these three type of orbitals present in the p subcell. So thing is coming, actually how many maximum number of electron can come in the p subcell? So there are 6 electron can come in the p subcell. You know why? Because one orbitals can maximum stay 2 electron. How many electron? Maximum 2 electron can stay in one orbitals. So there are 3 orbitals. So total number of 6 electron can stay in that. Second thing is coming, d orbitals. So d orbital shape is double dumbbell shape. So in that d subcell, how many orbitals is present? There are 5 orbitals is present. What is the name of these orbitals? These orbitals we can name as dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square y square, and dz square. So these 5 type of orbitals is present in our d subcell. If we want to draw the diagram, this one. So that one is our dxy. This one is the dyz, dzx, dx square y square, and dz square. So for the dxy, if we are considering this one is the x-axis, that one is the y-axis. So we can draw it in this way. This way. If that is our y-axis, this one is the z-axis. So we can write like that, like this. If this one is our x-axis, that one is the z-axis. So we can also draw it like that. So hope you are understanding properly how we are going to draw the orbital diagram. For the dx square and y square, I am considering that one is the x-axis and this one is the y-axis. This one and that one. For the dz square, this one is our, I am considering z-axis, this one is the x-axis. So like that we can draw, and here we can make the two circle like this. So that is our dz square orbital. So one thing you can observe here, those are the dxy, dyz and dzx orbitals. They are lying in between the axis. What is it? Lying in between the axis. Lying in between the axis. But what about this one dx square, dz square? They are lying along the axis. What is it? Lying along the axis. Because when I will teach you coordination compound, so in that one theory is coming crystal field theory. So in that crystal field theory, we are going to use the concept in a d orbitals, which orbitals is lying along the axis and which one is lying in between the axis. So from here, you have to keep in your mind dx square, y square and dz square lying along the axis and they are lying in between the axis. And actually, F orbitals, those are the F orbitals having the F subshell having the 7 orbitals, and that we cannot draw on the paper because of its structure is very difficult. So next one is coming magnetic quantum number. So beta magnetic quantum number is telling us about what is the orientation of electron in the subshell. What it is telling? What is the orientation of the electron in a subshell? So thing is coming, what is the relation between magnetic quantum number and the azimuthal quantum number? So relation we can write m is equal to minus L to what? Plus L, and including 0. Including 0. Suppose I am taking example here, if anywhere thing is given, what type of question is coming in our exam? If anywhere given that L is equal to 2, so question will ask, find out the magnetic quantum number here. So just now I told relation between magnetic quantum number and azimuthal quantum number is minus L2 plus L including 0. So we can write minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, like that. So that is the magnetic quantum number. For sometime they are asking individually and sometime they are asking find out the total magnetic quantum number. So for finding the total magnetic quantum number, no need to do these all things. Directly we can use the formula m is equal to 2l plus 1. If he is asking if l value is given that 2, or they are asking for the d subshell, how many total magnetic quantum number is present in a d subshell, how many total magnetic quantum number is present. So directly we can use the formula 2 into 2 plus 1. So look what we can say that 4 plus 1. So 5 magnetic quantum number is coming by that. Spin quantum number. So spin quantum number is telling us about what is the spinning of the electron. So electron is doing the spinning two type. One is the clockwise direction and the second one is the anti-clockwise direction. So if electron is spinning in clockwise direction. So for that, what about the spin quantum number? That we are writing plus 1 by 2. And for the clockwise, what is it? Like this. And for the direction, anti-clockwise direction, minus 1 by 2, and electron representation in this way. If anywhere electron is present in this way, that is the plus 1 by 2. In this way, that is the minus 1 by 2. So electron is spinning in the two way, clockwise and spinning clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. So for the clockwise direction, that is the plus 1 by 2, and anti-clockwise direction, that is the minus 1 by 2. So they are asking sometimes what about the spin magnetic quantum number. So spin magnetic quantum number finding formula is this 4ss plus 1. Where what about the s? S is our total, or we can total spin quantum number, or we can say that resultant spin quantum number. This we can say that resultant spin quantum number. This thing. If we are going to find out magnetic quantum number by the use of the unpaired electron, we can use the formula n plus 2, and Bohr magneton is the unit of the spin magnetic quantum number. Sometimes they are asking the spin angular momentum. So beta, for finding the spin angular momentum, and we are also representing by the what we can say that like ls. So what is that? H upon 2 pi root s s plus 1. So suppose that anywhere thing is given like 2p2. In that they are asking what about the spin uh, angular momentum. So for finding the spin angular momentum, we have to find out the resultant spin quantum number. What is the S here? S is our resultant spin quantum number. So that means there is two electron is present, both are present in the clockwise direction. So S is equal to, we can say that plus 1 by 2 and plus 1 by 2. Total what is came? 1 is came. So spin angular momentum h upon 2 pi root, what we can say that here? 1 plus 1. That means we can say here root 2 h upon 2 pi. That is for what? 2p2. So like that question is coming, easily you can find out in our NEET or JEE exam. So maximum spin of atom, we can say that 1 by 2 number of unpaired electron. Suppose that question is given here, this 2p3. If anywhere this thing is given that, and they are asking what is the maximum spin of this electronic configuration. So in that look, there is a 3 electron, 1, 2, 3. So in that, what about the total spin quantum number? There are 3 electron. So we can say that 3, and for each electron 1 by 2. So resultant spin quantum number is came 3 by 2. If they are asking what about the here spin angular momentum, so directly you can use the formula L is equal to what? H upon 2 pi, and then after that root and plus of S 3 by 2, and here 3 by 2 plus 1, like that. Calculate it and get our answer. So all the guys is got the idea how we are going to identify such type of question and get the answer. So that was the part of the quantum number. Now we are coming in n plus L rule. Actually, n plus L rule we are using for the filling of electron. So our above principle, what he is telling, those are the filling of electron according to above principle. Filling of electron, filling of electrons taking place according to increasing energy order, increasing energy order. So N plus L rule is telling that energy is directly related from, energy is directly related from magnitude of what? En plus L value. En plus L value. Where what is the N? N is our principal quantum number. What about the L? L is the azimuthal quantum number. That is the azimuthal quantum number. So those one having the higher n plus L value, that will fill at the end. Lower n plus L value orbitals will fill first. Suppose that I am giving the example here. A thing is given 2s and 2p. Which subcell having the higher energy? So for the 2s, what about the principal quantum number? That is the 2, and azimuthal quantum number is 0. So here n is equal to 2 and L is equal to 0. So what about the n plus L value? N plus L value, in that case 2 plus 0. So directly we can write the 2. In that case, n value is given here 2 and L value is 1. So n plus L value we can write 2 plus 1. That means what is came 3. So here n plus L value is greater. So what about the energy of the orbital? 2p orbitals, 2p subcell having the higher energy than the 2s. That is why filling of the 2p orbital is happening first. Then after that, what is 2s? After that, firstly 2s is filling. Then after that, 2p is filling, like that. Sometime what is happening? N plus L value is coming same. If n plus L value is coming same for the two subcell, at that point what we have to do, we have to check that which one having the higher principal quantum number. Those one having the higher principal quantum number, for that n plus for that energy will be higher. So in that case, what we have to do, higher n value, higher n value subcell will have higher energy, higher energy, this thing. So now look, I am giving the example here. If thing is given that 4p and 3d. So beta 4p and 3d is given that, and they are asking in that which one having the higher energy. So look, what about the n value here? N value is 4, L value is 1 in that case. What about the here n value? 3 and L value is 2. We can find out the n plus L value in this case. So what we have to do? 4 plus 1. What about in that case? 3 plus 2. So 4 plus 1 is came 5, and 3 plus 2 is came what? 5. That is came 5. Look, both the having the n plus L value same. Now we have to apply this rule. What is this? Those one having the higher n value, that subcell will consider as a higher energy. So what about the energy of the orbital in that case? That means those are the 4p subcell. It is having the higher energy than 3d. Hope you all got the idea what is the n plus L rule and how we are going to identify the energy of the orbitals. Second thing is coming, what is the orbit and orbital? Look here, really it's a very important point. Most of the students ask me when I'm taking the offline classes, in that so many students having a doubt on that what is the orbit and orbital, and also they are not differentiating in the cell and subcell. So please listen, be carefully. What is that orbit? It is the well defined energy level. It is a well defined energy level where electron is revolving around the nucleus. around the nucleus. Around the nucleus. Discipline. So look, in a orbit, what is the? It is a well-defined energy level where electron is revolving around the nucleus. It is also telling us orbit. Also, we are telling us what cell. That we are also telling as a cell. In that orbit, more than two electron can fill. What is the? In that, more than two electron can fill. In that, more than two electron can fill. If more than two electron can fill, so according to which principle they are filling according to the 2n square rule. But when we are coming in case of the orbital, what is that? It is the region in a space where probability of finding the electron is maximum. It is the region in the space where probability of finding the electron is maximum. Maximum. So that is called the orbital. Where probability of finding the electron is maximum, that is called the orbital. So look, here cell is came, subcell is came. Firstly, cell. Inside the cell, what is present? Subcell. Inside the subcell, what is present? Orbital is present. So firstly, what is coming? Orbit is coming. What is coming? Orbit or cell. We can say that orbit or cell. After that thing is coming subcell. Subcell. Inside the subcell, what is present? Orbital is present. Orbital is present. So now hope everything is clear. Suppose that I am writing here 2p. So beta 2 is what? Orbit. Second, in that second orbit, what subcell is present? 2p subcell is present. Because if n is equal to 2, in that how many subcell is possible? So we can write here L is equal to 0, comma 1. That means in that there are two subcell is possible, 2s and 2p. 2s and 2p subcell is possible. In that 2p subcell, how many orbitals? There are three orbitals, px, py and pz, like that. Next thing is coming, in an orbital, how many maximum electron can fill? So maximum 2 electron can fill. Maximum 2 electron can fill in an orbital. In an orbital with opposite spin. What is it? With opposite spin. With opposite spin. Suppose I am taking the here S2. In that S orbital maximum, how many electron can fill? 2 electron with the opposite spin. So one will come in clockwise direction, another one is coming anti-clockwise direction. Suppose I am going to write here 2p3. How we can fill the electron here? 1, 2. So like that we can fill the electron. This all thing how we are going to fill the electron, this all thing I am going to teach in a detail in the Hund's principle and Pauli exclusion principle. So that was the concept here, orbit and orbital. Hope everything is clear now, no doubt. Next point is coming here, what is the nodes? So like we studied in that orbital, The region where probability of finding the electron is maximum is called nodes. Sorry, it's called orbital. What about the nodes? Where probability of finding the electron is zero. What is that? Probability of finding the electron, probability of finding the electron is zero, where probability of finding the electron is zero is called what? Is called nodes. So what is the formula for finding the total number of nodes? So total number of nodes is equal to n minus 1. Where what about the n? N is our principal quantum number. N is the principal quantum number. From this diagram, you can see that 1s orbital. 1s orbital having the zero nodes. There is no node because of 1 minus 1. What will come? 0. There is no any nodes is present. Those are the darkest part here. Electron is showing that. Those are the white part that is showing that node. That means there is no electron is present. So where presence of the electron is 0, that is called the node. So in 2s orbital, how many number of node is present? So number of nodes in 2s orbital, that we can say that 2 minus 1, that means only one node is present here. So for finding the total number of nodes, we have to use that formula. After that is coming number of angular nodes. Number of angular nodes. That is equal to the azimuthal quantum number. Whatever azimuthal quantum number, that will be the equal to the number of angular nodes. Second thing is coming number of radial nodes. Number of radial nodes. So that formula n minus l minus 1. That is for finding the number of radial nodes. If thing is given that 3d2, that is the electronic configuration is given here, and they are asking how many radial nodes is present in that case. So beta n value is given in that case 3. What about the l value? L value is 2. So number of radial nodes is present in 3d2. What we can say here, that is the 3 minus 2 minus 1, that means total 0 radial nodes is present. What about the angular nodes in that? Angular nodes in our 3d2, that we can say that 2. This is a thing. What about the total number of nodes in 3d2? That 3 minus 1, that means 2 is present. So hope everybody has got the idea how we are going to find out the total nodes, angular nodes and radial nodes. Now we are going to solve some questions those asked in our previous year JEE and NEET exam. The quantum number of 4 electrons are given that. He is asking the correct order of their increasing energies will be. So we are going to arrange them according to what? According to the n plus L rule. As you know that energy is directly proportional to n plus L value. So first one, what is given that 4 and n is equal to 4 and what L is equal to 2. That means if L is equal to 2 is given that, so D. So we can write here 4D. What about the n plus L value in that case? N plus L value is 6. In that case, n plus L value will be 5. Here n plus L value is came 6. What about in that case? Here is also n plus L value 5. Here also n plus L value is 5. In that case, n plus L value is 4. So without any doubt, we can say that first one having the highest energy because of n plus L value is maximum. Now after that, we can check these all are having the 5, 5, 5. So 4 plus 1, 3 plus 2, and here these two having the 5. So here we can check that principal quantum number. So third one having the 4 principal quantum number, this one having the 3 principal quantum number. So after that third one will come. Then after that second, and fourth one having the least n plus L value. So it will show the least energy. But here is given in correct order of their increasing energy, not decreasing, increasing. So what we can see here, fourth, then after that second, then third, then first. So fourth, second, third, first. That means which one is the correct answer? C is our correct answer. This question asked in JEE Main 2019. Another one question asked in our JEE Main 2013. They are asking the correct set of four quantum numbers for the valence electron of rubidium. What is the rubidium electronic configuration? That is the krypton 5s1. That is the rubidium electronic configuration. He is asking for the valence electron. So valence electron is present in 5s1. When we are going to fill the electron, we can fill the electron like that. So principal quantum number is coming here 5. What about the azimuthal quantum number for the s orbital? That is the 0. If L value is 0, what about the M value? That will also 0. So S either plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2. Look here, everywhere plus 1 by 2 is given, that. So we can write the plus 1 by 2. So 500, 500 plus 1 by 2. That means which one is the correct answer? A is our correct answer. This question asked in our JEE Advanced 1997. For a d electron, the orbital angular momentum is. So orbital angular momentum formula is that h upon 2 pi root L plus 1. So for the d electron, what about the L value? L value is coming to. So we can write here h upon 2 pi root 2 plus 1. That is the, we can write h upon 2 pi root 6. Which one is correct answer? A is our correct answer. So hope student, this lecture is useful for you. Thank you for watching, and for getting such type of lecture continuously in your site, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.